If you ordered a new Bronco and got a 4-door, you had access to a soft top, but if you got the 2-door, the hardtop was the only way they came. But today, we're going to solve that issue with help from Bestop. This is the Bestop Trektop, and it's going to be available for your 2-door or your 4-door Bronco. This is a heavy black 30-ounce soft 12 material, and best of all, it's going to install on your Bronco with no permanent modifications. That means no drilling, no cutting. All factory locations are going to work with your factory doors, and it features non-zipper windows for easy removal, plus their Sunrider system, making it very simple to put the top down. So this is everything you need to install your Bestop soft top. Now this is going to be a little bit intimidating, but again, this is all designed to install it without any permanent modifications. So follow along, we're going to show you how to do it. So first step is obviously remove our factory hardtop. Now if you have a hardtop Bronco, you probably know how to remove these panels, but if you don't, basically pull down on this and then these 3 sliders and they come out. Okay, now here in the back, over on the driver's side, disconnect both these harnesses. Push down the metal tab, it'll pop right off. And remove these 4 large bolts on each side. Or the bolts inside are removed. Now you can come up top here on both sides, remove this bolt here. All right, this part you'll definitely want some help. Have someone grab the other side. You're gonna lift up the top, grab forward, and carry it off the vehicle. Now with the roof off, we're gonna grab 2 harnesses here and just stow them on these plugs. Next step is gonna be to basically put some sealer right here, some adhesive seal. So first we're gonna do is just clean this area. The mix of alcohol and water. Now we're just going to put the seals up in place. You want to align them with all of the bolt holes, and they will overlap. You go basically just like that. And you're going to basically separate these. They're mirrored, so one side for driver, one side for passenger. With them split, basically put the paper side down. That's where the adhesive is. Make sure everything is lined up. Then we're going to pull back the paper. And same thing with the rear piece here. Get everything lined up. And do the same thing on the other side. Next is the belt seal. We just clean this whole area, but just double check, make sure, you know, a lot of fingerprints and stuff in there from the previous step. Get to the end here, just cut off the excess. And do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now on the side window retainers, these are gonna basically bolt right here. So first thing I'm gonna do, remove the factory hardware, and put this aside and keep it. Again, I'm gonna put this into place with the supplied hardware. Then same process on the other side. All right, now we've got a vertical seal. Basically gonna line it up with the top of this plastic pillar. That's gonna go over to the back. Ready to install the rear retainers. We have to pull this panel out to get behind here. So first thing I'm gonna do is remove this little trim piece right here. And I need to carefully pull back on this panel. So you can access the screw hole right here. Now I'm gonna grab this little provided foam brick. Basically, you're gonna squeeze it right between the top and bottom of this rear retainer. I'm gonna place this on top here, line it up with that screw hole, then take two of the large bolts from the hardtop, put them up here, and use the supplied hardware down here. And then line it up, pop this panel back into place. And then repeat the process on the other side. Okay, moving forward, we're gonna work on the belt retainer next. This is gonna mount using, again, two bolts from the factory hardtop and a factory supplied bolt here. Before we put that on though, we're gonna flip it over and this edge right here, install some foam. I'm just gonna go right here on the edge, right before the little turn off here. Cut off the excess. Supplied hardware back here. Once again, repeat the process on the other side. The side rail is going to mount basically right here, so we have to remove these two factory bolts next. Make sure they go back in the same spot because they are different lengths. On the rear, put the provided spacer in place and then reinstall the longer bolt. Shorter one, factory location in the front. Okay, now we're gonna install the pivot bracket as part of the Sunrider setup here. Now, your Bronco may have a bolt here. Ours had tape over these holes for some reason. If it does have a bolt, remove the factory bolt first. Ours does not have that bolt. So we're gonna put a spacer in there. Put a supplied bolt in. Same thing back here. All right, next up is gonna be the link control bracket. It's gonna go in these two factory holes on the side. Tighten these up and then do the same thing on the other side. Moving back up top again, we're gonna install the halo brackets. Again, use the supplied hardware here. Tighten these down, and then same process on the other side. Then you wanna grab the top assembly, and we're gonna fold this forward so you can basically see these two holes here. Then you're gonna grab the bow assembly, screw it on with the supplied hardware. And then same thing on the other side. All right, grab the 1.5 bow now. We're gonna put this on these two front tabs. And you wanna make sure these tabs are facing down. All right, now grab the larger bow. This will go into the second set of brackets here. And here, Make sure these tabs are facing up. Now grab the control linkage. This can connect the two bows together. Now grab the bow seal for the front edges here. It's going to basically seat right in this corner here. Push it down the edge. Okay, now it's ready to go on the car. Now line up this bow here with the bracket we installed earlier. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now grab the bow control bracket. This is going to go on bow number 2 up here. And down here on the bracket. And same thing other side. All right, now I'm going to pull the top back. These brackets here are going to install the halo brackets we installed earlier. Just let it sit there. And install the screws. Then you want to line up the hole here. Install the rear screws first and then the fronts. And climb in the back seat here, the cargo area. And install 2 more screws on the inside. I'm gonna grab this side rail piece here. This is gonna go up into place here. First thing I'm gonna do is connect this cable to this. And bring the cable back and connect it. Make sure you have a little bit of Loctite. And put up in place. I'm gonna line it up with these 2 brackets up here. All right, next we're gonna close the top now. And then connect it to the factory locations. And moving to the back again to slide the rear window in, basically line it up here. Just push it all the way across. Grab the bottom retainer, we're going to slide the weather strip in. Okay, we're ready to prep the side windows for installation now. What you want to do is basically pull this piece here up on top. Grab the 1 piece of weather strip. And the other piece goes right here. And it's ready to go on the car. Okay, the window is going to go in this channel right here. And now this piece here goes in this retainer in the front. Slide that in and pull the window back. Now this part's gonna be a little tricky, especially the first time because everything's kind of new. Basically this stud and this stud go in this hole and this hole here, and then the snap holds it in place. Again, this is gonna be really tight the first couple times you do it. Put it out in the sun, make it a little bit easier, or a second set of hands will help as well. Now the bottom seal here has to go in this channel. To get the rear window in, you got to start with one side and then basically pull on the other. Now, if you're having trouble with it, you can try going back and forth. You might find one side might be a little easier to get in than the other. It will be a little difficult because it is tight and new, but if you take your time, you can get it in. All right, now we can pull the corners down, attach the Velcro on the sides. Same thing on the side. On the bottom edge, these pieces here are going to slide right in these slots. And now we're going to wrap these around the bows. They're going to be Velcro. Do that for both bows. Then the last part of the kit is these straps. And these are designed when you have the Sunrider open. It actually allows you to strap it down so it doesn't bounce around when you're driving. Once you have the top folded down, simply strap this around here, push down it to hold it tight, and Velcro it down. Do the same thing on the other side. The Bestop Trektop is going to provide an OEM or even better level of fit and finish. The best part is that Sunrider feature allows you to flip it open for open air motoring, make it very easy to close it again. The installation of this is going to be a little time consuming and it's a very, very tight and accurate fit. So I'd say give yourself about 3 hours or so and be back on the road in no time.